as he serves up fresh, practical health tips you can use on the go. From energizing food facts to life changing wellness advice, this show is your weekly dose of inspiration. Your health is your greatest wealth, and it's worth fighting for. Catch My Health, My Mississippi live on WMPR 90.1 FM and on YouTube at Charles and the Fighters. Thursday with a boost. Tune in to My Health, My Mississippi every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. on WMPR 90.1 FM and streaming live on YouTube. Join Chef Charles as he serves up fresh, practical health tips you can use on the go. From energizing food facts to life-changing wellness advice, this show is your weekly dose of inspiration. Your health is your greatest wealth, and it's worth fighting for. Catch My Health, My Mississippi live on WMPR 90.1 FM and on YouTube at Charles and the Fighters. Don't miss it. Let food power your mood and fuel your life. We're proud to have My Health, My Mississippi as a sponsor on WMPR 90.1 FM.
Well, good morning and welcome to My Health, My Mississippi. Thank you all for being with us today. You're listening to WMPR 90.1, the number one station in the nation that's providing you with healthy, helpful information. And you tune in to My Health, My Mississippi, the number one show on the radio. We're grateful, we're thankful, and we're honored to have you in our presence this morning. You know what? We're fighting for our health. You know why? Because our health is worth fighting for. And I want to start this morning off like I start every morning, every Thursday morning off at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. That high blood pressure, as a reminder, is not mandatory. Type 2 diabetes, as a reminder, it is not mandatory. And high cholesterol, it is not mandatory. Well, listen, I have a special guest with me this morning. I'm so excited for you all to hear her. But I want to share with you for a second the title of our message today is to stop fighting sickness. Start fighting for your health. Stop fighting sickness. Start fighting for your health. I want to just to be praying for the Barnes family too this morning, guys. A good friend of ours, usually here with me every Thursday morning, right here on WMPR 90.1, My Health, My Mississippi. Marcus was engineering things over there in the booth and passed away on, it's life, but it still doesn't make it easy. But I want you to remember something. Be in prayer for the family, the Barnes family. But look, guys, the reason that I'm here, the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing, I need you to stop fighting sickness. Stop acting like we have to have some of these diseases, and we don't. They're not mandatory. I watched my family go through this, okay? And that's why I'm so passionate about it. You know, I'm fortunate enough, I don't take any medication. If you're on medication, fine, you take your medication. But look, do me a favor. Start looking out how you can reduce it and do without it, because if it's high blood pressure, it's not mandatory. If it's type 2 diabetes, it's not mandatory. If it's obesity, it is not mandatory. If it's high cholesterol, it's not mandatory. We just got to go to work. We got to put the work in. And I'm not here to bring any excuses and say, oh, it's tough. Yes, it's tough. Life is tough. But we got to make it happen. Can we do that? Well, that's enough of that. Wow. But do remember the Barnes family. And let's jump right into my guest is Krista J. I like that, Krista J. My name is Krista Jane, but I saw on her bio is Krista J. When you can just use your initial, that's cool. So Krista J, listen, just a little bit about her. So Krista, I've watched her over the years, but here's a little bit about her. She said movement was the first medicine I knew. And you know, we talk about movement all the time on this show, making sure that you start moving. So here's what she said. Movement was the first medicine I knew. And look, guys, food is medicine. Movement is medicine.
Absolutely.
And we got to make sure that we understand this. She says, my mother introduced me to dance when I was 6, and movement became a consistent part of my life. Before I knew anything about recreational therapy or holistic health, I had already experienced how movement could support confidence, expression, connection, and well-being. Recreational therapy gave me a professional framework for understanding that experience. It also expanded my perspective beyond my own relationship with movement. I can't wait to hear about this. Through working with marginalized populations, I learned how much access mattered, access to recreation, supportive environment, community resources, and opportunity to participate fully in life. That's factual. That perspective has followed me through my career and continued to shape how I think about wellness today. And she's so young, y'all. My understanding of health now extends beyond movement of recreation alone. It includes mental and emotional health, community, identity, history, belonging, and equitable access to the resources that help people live well.
Absolutely.
Well said,
Absolutely.
girl.
Why,
Well
thank you.
said. Well said.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Krista J.
Thank you,
It
Mrs.
is-
Smith.
it is
Thank
such
you for
a
having
pleasure.
me. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence.
Well,
So
thank you so much. So tell everybody about a little bit more about you and what you're doing now and where you been, how tall you are. And I'm just kidding.
Right, all the things. So first of all, you just gave a really great overview of kind of the work that I've been doing. So like I said, I started dancing at the age of 6, and dance movement has been a vital part of my life ever since. It actually led me into my degree. So I went to Southern Miss once I left Jackson. And so I studied recreation. So I didn't initially start off as a rec therapy major because it's a really small profession. So a lot of people didn't know about us, still don't really know about us. So I'm happy to advocate for the recreational therapists out there. But when I got to Southern Miss, I actually met this kinesiology advisor. And so we kind of had conversations about what my history was, the work that I used to do, the things that I enjoyed, my hobbies. And so when she listened to my story, she suggested that I enroll in an elective class, which was about older adults. And so at that point, that's where my love for really advocating for those marginalized populations kind of kicked in. So I realized once I started taking inclusive recreation classes about learning about disabilities and aging, there were all of these different marginalized groups that need advocacy. And it was a personal touch for me because I have family members that have dealt with disabilities, different disabilities. And so I've seen the way that the world has worked for them and not necessarily provided opportunities or access to the best lifestyle. And so I realized I got into this degree that was going to afford me the opportunity to really advocate for those people. But also the reason why I initially went to Southern Miss because they have an accredited dance program. So I did go to school for dance education as well. And
I didn't know that.
Yes, that was definitely a part of the conversation. My mom got her money's worth for all of the dance classes that she enrolled me in as a child. So after college, I really just kind of dove straight into it. My focus was behavioral health, or has been behavioral health. So when I talk about mental well-being, that's where that part comes in. I did some travel therapy work for quite a few years. And so I was really afforded the opportunity to not just work with different, work in different settings, but in different states. And so like I said, I did some community work with mental health. I did inpatient.
Okay.
I actually worked in some prison settings. So I really am grateful
Yes.
for all the exposure and the teachings and the lessons that I got. And I just kind of got to a point, Mr. Smith, where I really started to feel or hear this word that it was time to go back to my roots.
Mhm.
And so, what does it look like? Because what are the job opportunities for me back home?
Mhm.
And so that was really a question that I had. But you know, what's for you is for you. And so I've been back home now a few years. And when I returned home, I got back into community work,
Okay.
which eventually led me to the two Mississippi Museums. So
Okay.
I've been a part of their team for a little bit over a year now. And you know, when people ask me like, okay, you're working in a museum setting, but you used to be in the healthcare field,
Mhm.
how do those two really like correlate?
Yeah.
And I had the same question too. I'm like, what am I doing? But I realized, you know, I'm really still doing the same thing that I have been doing. So it's really, you know, my goal or my question every day when I go to work is who has access
Mhm.
to this resource, whose stories are being told. And because when you know your history, y'all listen, we hear this all the time. If you don't know your history, you can't really necessarily know where you're going.
Right.
But really, so that's really like my thought process when I go into work. How do I connect the dots for the people, and also, you know, when you learn the history about your community. So how is our society? Why is it the way that it is today?
Mhm.
And so when you go to the museums and you learn about these different organizations, the great people that have been putting in the work, and you understand the why, it really, you know, it's helpful. So that's kind of been my journey the last few years. And I know we are talking about movement and health, so that has not gone away. So I am a Pilates instructor. So I am doing that, which I love. So I still have the opportunity to not just engage in movement, but to, you know, teach others. So yeah, it's been good.
Fascinated. So you've worked in different states.
Yes.
Tell us of some of the states.
Yeah, so once I left Mississippi, I went to Louisiana. So I was in New Orleans.
Okay.
Great city, great people, great food. I left Louisiana. I spent some time in Texas, and then
Okay.
I spent some time in California.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. All over. That's good. You know, speaking of history, you know, last year, and we have this coming up, we do Let's Beat Breast Cancer. We have a Let's Beat Breast Cancer rally every year, and it's at the facility that you are representing here today,
Yes.
two Mississippi Museums,
Yes.
right? And you was talking about the history there, and we're talking about Let's Beat Breast Cancer because, like I said earlier, I am sick and tired of, like Fannie Lou Hammer said, but I'm sick and tired of us fighting sickness rather than fighting for our health. And when we look at the history there, okay, we're going to be there for September the 3rd.
Mhm.
We're going to be there for Let's Beat Breast Cancer, where we're going to be telling people how they can prevent it. We're going to have fun. We're going to have band there, providing band is going to be there. We're going to have good food to sample, right? And the history part of this is, and I want you to share this with us, Fannie Lou Hammer died of breast cancer. We're going to be at the two Mississippi Museum helping people to actually learn how to fight against it and keep it from coming. So I like to say, she fought for our freedom, we fight for our health. But how is that? Bridge those together for me. She's there, died of breast cancer, but she fought for civil rights and so many other things.
Right.
But we're going to be there helping people to fight for our health.
Mhm.
How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
That's
and
pretty
I'm
cool.
so glad the day that you came to the museum with your grandson. We ran into each other. We had a conversation, and we realized that there was a connection. So yeah, I can, if you want, I can talk a little bit about
Sure.
Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. So she did, at the time of her passing, she did have a diagnosis of breast cancer
Mhm.
and some other health complications.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that we need to kind of talk a little bit about her story first, or what do you think the people?
Yeah, let's talk about her story.
Okay.
Let's talk about Fannie Lou Hamer. She's worthy to be talked about.
Yes, absolutely. So Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, she was born in Mississippi in 1917. She was the youngest child of 20 children, and she was born to let me not skip past it. Right. And she was born into a sharecropping family in the Delta area of Mississippi, and she actually started to help her family out with sharecropping. I think she was about 6 or 7, so really young. She actually stopped going to school a few years after to help her family full time in the fields. And so we'll kind of jump from her teenage to her adult years. So Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer actually didn't really join the civil rights movement until she was well into her 40s.
Okay.
She went to a mass meeting that they had that SNCC, which is the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, they had at a local church. And so at that point, that's when she learned that she had this right, the right to vote, the right to actually make a change, to put people into office that wanted what was best for her community.
Right.
And so at that point, you told her that she had this right, and she went for it, and she did not stop.
she found out she had some rights.
Absolutely. So during the, and let me backtrack, right? One thing that I think about when I think about Mrs. Hamer and all the other civil rights heroes. So this, the 60s, this was during the Jim Crow era in Mississippi. So when we just talk about fighting, right, the way that we fight today is different.
Sure.
So they're leaving this mass meeting, and they have no idea that when they leave this meeting, am I still gonna have my life?
Right.
And so every day that she not even left her home, but she did not know when that day might be her last day, but she did it anyway.
Yeah.
She experienced, we have a lot of other, she had a lot of other accomplishments, but to kind of get to the health part, when we talk about breast cancer awareness, and I know that's, coming up September next month.
Yeah, September 3rd, our rally.
So when there has been, some accounts said that when she began to recognize some breast cancer symptoms, she was not that quick to try to take care of her health. It could be for, a few different reasons why that happened. And so eventually, as time went on, she continued to take care of others, advocate for others, take care of her family. And so, unfortunately, she was younger than 60 years old when her health conditions really began to take a toll, and she passed. So, I think a lot of times when I'm at the museums and I'm talking about sharing the stories of the heroes, I think when we talk about doing the work, I think part of the work is also ensuring that you are taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And so when I talk to the children, when they come in and they ask these questions, and we talk about health, because you can't really separate, freedom without, access to a healthy lifestyle. So it's not.
That's where freedom starts.
Right. And when we talk about the Jim Crow era, and we talk about segregation, in the different institutions, like healthcare is one of the institutions. So it was all one. It was, you didn't just have like voting rights on one side and then health on the other. Like you couldn't separate it. So yes. So that's a little bit about her story. I think a little bit about why we're talking about Mrs. Hamer today, why she's relevant with this conversation.
What can we learn from her fight? Listen, we're talking about Fannie Lou Hamer spent her life fighting for freedom, justice, equality. What can we learn from her fight that can inspire us to fight for our own health
Yes.
and the health of our community?
So another thing that Ms. Hamer did, so she received some donations, she did some fundraising, and she acquired some land, and she built a freedom farm.
Mm-hmm.
And so on this freedom farm, she had a pig bank, but she also they gardened, so they had vegetables. I know,
Yeah,
I know,
she did it
vegetables and
all.
crops. But she realized freedom also meant self-sufficiency.
Yes.
And so people having the right and the means and the resources to take care of their family, and that means having food.
That's where because you can't be free if you don't have something to eat when you want to eat. And that was so powerful.
Right. And so, you know, I feel like, so what did she teach us? She recognized a need in her community, especially when it came to having access to food. And so she made that change.
Wow.
And so I think, because the conversation you talk about how food is medicine. What can you do? What's within your means to have a healthy diet, to have to be as healthy as possible? Right. And so, what does that look like? Gardening in your backyard, or, I know you have conversations about healthy meals. And so, really educating, like listening to educators on how do you, eat this, not that.
Right.
Substitutions. And so I think I really feel like she understood the importance of self-sufficiency with eating healthy, and she taught others how to do that. And so I just think that you guys, what you talk about,
yes,
is what she was doing.
But that's why we're bridging this together now. She fought for freedom. She fought for the rights for people to have food to eat and places to live. And I almost feel like in honor of her, we ought to fight for our health.
Absolutely.
And so and I didn't realize she had passed away or she had breast cancer. And it could have been other complications, right. But she kind of put the community before herself in a sense, She didn't say, I'm sick and I can't do it. It wasn't like there's no stopping her. Right. And I believe we should be like, there's no stopping us. I mean, there's by any means necessary. Yeah. We know that we can do things healthier for us. If we take that same attitude, and you brought out a good point. When they left meetings, Krista J, they didn't know whether they're going to be at another meeting, whether they're going to make it home because their life was in danger, but they kept waking up and showing up. Absolutely. Every day, right? And we're having breast cancers being diagnosed now, and science, this is not My Health, My Mississippi, this is not Charles Smith, this is not Krista J. This is science saying that if you have a plant-based diet, eating healthier, if you limit alcohol, if you exercise and move, if you maintain a healthy weight, which means if you're exercising and eating healthy, the weight you're gonna have maintain weight. Exactly. This will help prevent the dreaded disease of cancer. And I just think we need to fight. We need to do the Fannie Lou Hamer and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm sick of fighting for sickness. We get these diseases and then we and again, if you're on medication, because we're not doctors and we're not advocating you do anything, we're just sharing some facts with you. But if you're on medication, take your medication. But I just believe that we need to try and figure out how we can lower the medication by changing our lifestyle and even reverse certain things like high blood pressure. Because science have said that high blood pressure, we bring it upon ourselves, And so there's something that we can do. It's about the food that we eat. Science have said that high cholesterol is something that we cause, and type 2 diabetes is something that we cause. Now there may be a few percentage that inherit a certain disease, but we're talking about the majority here, Krista. There's something that we can do.
Mhm.
I believe if Miss Fannie Lou Hamer was here, she figured this out because she was a fighter.
I think so too.
Fighters have a future in great health today, every day, responsible self. She's a fighter.
She was.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me a shirt that said she's a true definition of a fighter.
Yes.
And neglected her own health. And so to be at the museum, having a rally September the 3rd, 11 o'clock, and knowing that the history is there.
Yes.
Right? So I said, come for the rally, stay for the history.
I love it.
Yes.
Come see us.
Yes.
And if you want to come with a group, we have great endowments that
Mhm.
allow free admission.
Okay.
So if you are a religious or a cultural affiliated organization, call me. Book a reservation. I'll get you in. If you want to actually have a guided tour, speak to one of our educators,
Mhm.
or if you just want to take your time and self-explore, you have that option. If you're a teacher, if you're an educator, and you know that your students need to hear about this information, this history,
Mhm.
call me. I'll get you guys on the calendar. But yes, so come to the rally, stay for the history. Yes.
So while we're at this point, Krista J, tell people how they can contact you. And we'll do it again at the end too, but let people know how they can contact you if they want to come there and learn about Fannie Lou and the history and all the things that she does. And the fighter that she was.
Yes,
I'm gonna try and get y'all to put it and all the other fighters that's there, right? But so tell us how we can reach you.
So you can call the museums.
Okay.
Tell them you want to speak to Crystal. That's an option. But you can also email me. So my email is C as in Crystal James, JAMES at mbah.ms.gov. It's a pretty simple process.
Okay.
We'll get you in if you already have a date in mind. You tell us a little bit, and the thing I love about the museum, we're going to tailor it according to what you need. So if you just want to learn about Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, then we can just talk about Fannie Lou Hamer. But if you also want to learn about maybe some of the other organizations that were supporting the Black communities when it came to having food resources, then, let us know that. We'll set those tours up for you. But it's a pretty simple process. You can just call or email me, and I'll be happy to get you guys through the doors.
So I can see how your career ended you here. It just kind of fit, doesn't it? Yeah. And you do it with such passion.
I love what I do. I love it. What better place to work than our State History Museum? I get to talk to all the students that come. I'll say this, instead of being in all the classrooms, we like to say that we are the state's largest classroom.
Wow. I love
So
that.
we have the honor of not just our Mississippi students, but many people from all over the country, all over the world come to see us. And so we have the opportunity to teach others about our home. So it is an honor, and I am very passionate about the work that I do.
And you should be, because you're making a difference in people's lives. Because when we know our history, again, I did not know that Miss Fannie Lou Hamer passed or had breast cancer complications. It's personal to me. I have a sister that passed away from that dreaded disease. So what we're doing is just giving you information for if you've had cancer and you survive, I want you to show up, okay? Show up to the rally. That's September the 3rd, 11 o'clock a.m. We have so much fun there. And again, Provine Band is going to be there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They're going to be making some noise. We're beating the drums as we're drumming up support to help people be more aware of breast cancer and how to prevent it rather than just getting it and then having to fight it. Okay. And so that's going to be really important for us to do. But I do want to recognize those who have fought that fight and you are on this side and you're winning still. Want to congratulate you. So come out and show your support for those who haven't been successful, like my sister didn't win this battle, and for those who are just being diagnosed, need some encouragement. We just need everybody to show up and be there. And the idea that we have, I could just say, like one of the original fighters, Miss Fannie Lou Hamer.
I like that.
I
like that.
We're going to have to induct her into the Fighters Hall of Fame. Future in great health today, every day, responsible self. And one of the reasons, just in my opinion, is she didn't not that it was right, but one of the things I believe that she did was to not neglect herself, but she put community over herself. She just saw that fight that was necessary. And although she probably had signs of, things wasn't right in her body, the lady just kept fighting. That's what motivates me. And here we are acting like we can't even do without a piece of meat when we know it's causing hypertension for a month. Okay, I'm just saying, get yourself together rather than just having to say, I got to take this medication now I can eat everything. That makes no sense. Medication doesn't give you the right to add wrong food to your plate. The power of the plate can have a body feel great by itself rather than having to have medication. I have a shirt I should have worn today. It says medication is not my destination. I don't have time for it. But again, if you're on medication, that's fine. But I just want us to be fighters. Fight for good health. We've been taught wrong for so long, and everybody feel like we got to be sick on certain things. That's just not true. So anyway, Crystal.
Yes.
I know that you speak. Could you speak directly to women who say, "I'm going to start taking care of myself after I get sick"? What would you tell them? After I get sick, I'm gonna start taking care of myself. Like people go, once I get myself cleaned up, I'm gonna go to church.
Right. Right. I'm fine with it. So that's a really great question.
Yes.
And I guess because I'm so grateful to my mom. She did a really great job with just teaching me how to include health in my day-to-day lifestyle.
And you're so young and you have all this perspective.
Thank you.
And that is, I'm so appreciative because, like our good friend, Miss Marcus died of a heart attack. We had a heart attack. We have young people are dying of heart attacks and stroke. And it is a lot of times directly, to our diet. It's connected to our diet.
It's definitely about being proactive.
Yeah.
So coming from my perspective about movement, it's so easy to find 30 to 45 minutes a day to take care of your body. And it starts with the small changes instead of the sodas and the junk food. Like,
that's a good start.
Right. It's a start. But for the people who wait until they receive like a diagnosis,
Help us. Help
I'm
us. Help us. Help us. Wait until we get sick. Wait till we get sick, and then we're gonna turn up a notch. Yeah, I do see people on the track field, and I hadn't seen them out there in a while. They say, "Well, yeah, I got to go to the doctor. I gotta make sure I get a good report." Or they'll say, yeah, I had this stroke, so I got to start walking. I've always said to myself, if you started walking before you had the heart attack, maybe you wouldn't have had it, because it's helpful to move, right? Movement is exercise.
Yeah.
And then when you come out there, you hadn't been out there, but yet you have a doctor's appointment next week, and wait a minute, who are you really trying to take care of?
Right.
You trying to impress the doctor by making sure that your numbers can look good because you're going to him? Baby, this is about you.
And that's the thing, and it's all about having a relationship with yourself, because the body speaks
that's
to
it.
You. And so sometimes you get the diagnosis, and so you hear from the doctor what your body is telling you, but you should, if anyone knows your body best, it should be you. And so what you put in is what you get out, what you receive. So for me, I like to talk to my body. If I'm hey, because I love myself, I'm going to be mindful about this meal that I'm having today. Because I love myself, I'm going to take time and I'm going to move my body, because I want to feel good in the body that God has given me. So it's kind of about self-love too. And just the way that we get up and to go to work for 8 hours a day. Oh, you bet I'm going to take some time to take care of myself, just like I am, and don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but I am my job.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that helps.
That helps a lot.
That's my approach.
No, that helps a lot, because I talk to my body all the time. I talk to my liver, my lungs, and my kidneys. People think I'm crazy because I do it, but they mind.
Yeah.
And they take care of me.
Shoot it.
I'm taking care of them. Come on, y'all. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. You're listening to WPR 90.1, number one station in the nation that's providing you with helpful information. And you're tuned in to My Health, My Mississippi, the number one show on the radio. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back on the other side.
The future in great health today, every day, responsible self. We're the fighters. Fighters with fighting for health. The future in great health today, every day, responsible self. We're the fighters with fighting for health. The future in great health today. Every day, responsible self. We're the fighters we're fighting for. The future in great health.
Well, the future is in great health today. Every day, responsible self. That's what the fighter stands for, guys, because you know what? You are a fighter. I just need you to start fighting. Okay? Start fighting for your health. Start advocating for your health. If you don't, you're giving everybody else the right not to. Okay? Because if you don't take care of yourself, why should anybody else want to take care of you? Make sense? All right, let's do that. So this part of the show is called Who Am I? This is where I give you a vegetable or a fruit or a grain or beans or peas, and you tell me who am I? And it's hot outside, so I wanted to make sure that we can talk about a vegetable or fruit that's going to help hydrate us. Okay, so that's your first clue. But first, let me just mention that September the 3rd, I want you to join us. Write it on your calendar. We're going to be at the 2 Mississippi Museum. We're going to be visiting Crystal J there, right? She's going to guide us. She's going to taste some of the good food that we're going to have out there. And it's going to be at 11 a.m. That's a Thursday. Put it on your calendar. That's 222 North State Street. Put in your GPS. 2 Mississippi Museum. It's going to pop up. Crystal face going to pop up too. Just kidding.
That's me. Hey, y'all.
All right. So Who am I? Let me tell you, this is something. I am a vegetable. I am mostly water, but I'm packed with nutrition. Who am I? I am famous for my crunchy stalks. People often dip me in peanut butter or hummus. Oh, did you? Who am I? Let's get the healthy girl. You'll usually find me in soup, salad, and stew. Oh, somebody look at these folks done jumped in there and put it already. I love it. Okay. My leaves are edible too. Full of nutrition too. I am naturally low in calories, but high in flavor and crunch. Many people enjoy drinking me as a green juice. Y'all good out there. You got it. I am a member of the parsley family. My long green, this is going to give it away right here. Everybody's going to get it after this. My long green stalks can be eaten raw or cooked. Who am I? I help add freshness to many healthy meals. I have been cultivated for thousands of years. I love it. Who am I? I am good for your heart. I help reduce inflammation. I aid in digestion. I keep you hydrated since I am about 95% water. I support healthy weight management. I provide antioxidant. I support bone health. I may support healthy cholesterol level. I contain vitamin C to support the immune system. I support kidney health and healthy fluid balance because of my water and potassium. Well, you guys nailed it. I am celery. Yes, I am celery, guys. And if you need different recipes for your celery, make sure you go to myhelpmymississippi.com and shoot me an email at charles@myhelpmymississippi. Or you can just go to myhelpmymississippi and in the comments say, I need celery recipes. You don't need to just have this during Christmas. Doing dressing, we need this. And Thanksgiving, yes, we need this all the time. Well, good job, guys. I see you all were on it for sure. Okay, so Krista, we're back and we're talking to Krista James. What's your position at the Two Mississippi Museum?
That's a great question. So I just moved into another department. I am the group tours coordinator. For all things related to groups, I'm the person.
Oh, Krista J. Yeah. Y'all just say, hey, I'm calling for Krista J.
The group has to be at least 10 people, but there's no limit after that.
So let me just ask you this, since we're talking about September the 3rd. So why should people come to Two Mississippi Museum for the Let's Be Breast Cancer Rally? And what do you hope people will leave with after attending? Because there's history there that's always going to be there. We're bringing the fight for breast cancer awareness, okay? But then the history there, like you said earlier, come for the rally, stay for the history.
Yeah, so why should people come into the museums after the rally? And I know we scratched the surface a little bit. We talked about Mrs. Hamer, but there's so many other organizations. And also, I hit on a little piece of her story. So we're going to...
So much more.
Right. Like we have an entire gallery really that's dedicated to Mrs. Hamer, but come to learn about the people, the organizations, and the institutions that really surrounded these different movements. So we also, in one of our galleries, we talk about the Child Development Group of Mississippi, the Head Start program that was community work. So it was connected also to education and nutrition and healthcare and family support. And the thing that I love about our museum, it doesn't just show what we faced but it teaches us what we created, because we are a creative group of people. And when I say we, of course, I'm a Black woman, but also like I'm a Mississippian, and so it's always a proud moment to just go into the museums. And when I tell you, there's so much information there. Every time you go in, you are probably going to learn or see something different, see a new artifact. And you're like, oh, was this here, 6 months ago? Yes. Yeah, just so much. But also to connect, to meet a new person, to meet the staff. Like, we are a part of the community. We really want to be, that a third space. Like, we want you to know that this is your museum, but also to teach us, because everybody has their own stories that might not be on those gallery walls. So come and tell us who you are. And, and a lot of times we document the stories that we're hearing. We pass it on, when we're having events, programs. If your story, your personal story is relevant to the topic or the theme, we want to hear from you, because you might not be Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, but once also that we know about her, she wasn't that typical leader. People thought about what was a leader. She didn't have this formal education, but it goes to show that all stories are a part of the bigger story. So come see us. You might find your ancestor's name on the wall. We have that happen a lot. So it's really, for me, it's also about identity. Yeah. So come into the museum to learn a little bit more about who you are, who are your people. So yes.
Yes, and I was so excited just to see her fight, just to learn about that. Because, like I said, she fought for our freedom, so let's not fight for our health. I think she would say for us to, put yourself first, fight for your health. Come learn about me and what I did and how I fought for the community. And then when you fight for your health, now you're even more able to fight for what? The community.
Exactly.
And so this is the way that we need to do. So we're talking to, again, Krista James, and she is the group coordinator there at the Two Mississippi Museum. This will be our 3rd year there. I'm so excited about it.
Glad to have y'all.
Yes, we are. And then PCRIM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, is sponsoring this big rally. And we have these rallies throughout the country. Troy, yes, and it's to bring awareness to how we can prevent these diseases, and it's personal to me because I watched a sister just neglect herself and not doing the things that she needed to do, and sometimes it just comes and it just takes its course, So we titled this show "Stop Fighting Sickness, Start Fighting for Your Health." Because we just don't want you to wait until something happens, which was the question that we had posed to Krista J. We don't want something to happen. You get sick, start taking medication, then start taking better care of yourself. Start taking better care of yourself right now. You don't hear me? Right now. So, that you don't have to end up on medication. You are leaders. You have something to, you have purpose in your life, And we don't want to have to just always be fighting against an illness. We want to prevent them. Start dancing. Now, we're not all fortunate. You started dancing at 6, you said? Mama took you to the YMCA. Now you're back teaching.
And now I'm back teaching.
That's right.
Yeah, I was in the community centers. I was dancing at church. And so I'm fortunate. My mom had to kind of lay out that path for me, but it really started as a hobby. And that's what I tell people, like, hobbies are therapeutic, So when you made that plan to go fishing, and then you decide that you don't feel like going, it affects your health. And so keep doing the things that bring you joy, because also a lot of those activities bring kind of put you in places of community, are going to probably put you in places where you have, you're physically active. So yes, do things that bring joy to you, and also put you in places with people that you love.
Absolutely. Good morning, Ms. Nelson.
Praise ye the Lord, praise ye the Lord. I just want to call in. This has been a great program. As you say, I just wanted to get the address again so I can put a face with you all. Young lady, I just want to say thank you. That was me back from 1997 when I was diagnosed. So I just want you to know that this is going to educate, but not only that, the ministry, the legacy of what we can do together will make a difference. So before, I know he always do give us the information so I can tell others and maybe put it in our spotlight at our church to have others to come. So thank you for what you're doing, and I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Ms. Nesbitt. So please, I can't wait to meet you. So September the 3rd, to Mississippi Museum, 222 North State Street, Jackson, Mississippi 39201. That's 222 North State Street. Is that right?
Just North Street.
North Street.
Yeah.
You said North
It's
State.
close.
Yeah, North Street. Yeah, right there. It's North Street, right. I don't know why I said 222 North Street, not North State. 222 North Street, okay? 2 Mississippi Museums. 222 North Street, Jackson, Mississippi 39209. And September the 3rd, 11 o'clock. And so please reach out to me, Ms. Nelson. Give me my email address is charles@myhelpmymississippi, because I know you have won this fight, and I'm so proud of you. But reach out to me. My email address is charles@mymississippi.com, and Mississippi is spelled out, okay? Or go to myhelpmymississippi.com and send me your information. That's for sure. So, Krista, this is going to be so exciting because we have so many people that are fighters, but a lot of times they don't know how to fight. Like, we're going to lay out things like we laid out the 4 prongs that science have said, that if you eat more of a healthier diet, that if you maintain a healthy weight, that if you limit alcohol, that if you move, exercise, this gives you a chance to avoid having breast cancer, okay? Because we really need to manage the weight, and we really need to do these things. And we need to be, like you said earlier, proactive. Rather than waiting. That's why I asked that question. A lot of people, they wait until they get an illness and then they'll jump on it. We need to do something about it.
We're not doing that, y'all.
Yeah. So, but this one, sort of a closing question because we're getting at the end of our hour, and this has been so fun. You got to come
Thank
back.
you for having me. I
You
would
gotta
love to come back.
Okay, so Fannie Lou Hamer fought for her community. And today we're asking people to fight for their health. Krista, what does it mean to you to see these two fights, fighting for justice and fighting for our health, come together in one place at 2 Mississippi Museum?
So, yes, I started the conversation off earlier today where I was talking about my history, my background, and to even when I started working at the museums, you know, I didn't come from an academic background necessarily, and so I always kind of had that question: where do I fit? How do I fit? Does this fit? And you know, fortunately, I have this team that kind of saw me in that light before I saw myself. Like, they immediately knew the programs that would be great for me to lead. But this happened naturally. This is something that you've already been doing on the grounds. And so I think this is really helping us internally to really think about the different approaches when, you know, to history. So I'm grateful to, you know, right now be the spokesperson for the museum to talk about. And, you know, if I can be honest, I think that I have the perfect background to be the one to help connect the dots. So I really feel like this is honestly just to start. You're giving me inspiration on new educational programs that we can, think about providing at the museum, because his health is relevant to history. So, yes, I just feel like I'm so grateful. So thank you. Like I said, I believe in divine timing. We had that run in. We actually were in Fannie Lou Hamer's gallery at Question America.
Yes.
When we
It
talked. So
and I was like, wait, we've been having the Let's Beat Breast Cancer here, and I'm
for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Yes. So I'm so excited. And I'm excited too, guys, for you to have more education on that, simply because I always say if we have more food education, we'll be on less medication.
Absolutely.
But the idea of it is, guys, regardless of what you do with your health, at least we need to have the education so that we can understand which direction to go and make choices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're at the end of our time. This has been so good. So, Chris, tell them one more time how they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. You can give us a call. And I think that I have our number. The Two Mississippi Museum's number is 601-576-6800. So you call them. You ask to speak to Crystal. They'll get you to me. Or if I'm not at my desk, you can email me at cjames, JAMES, @mdah.ms.gov.
Go see James.
Come see me. I'm a good time. Listen, it's all love. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to learn and listen to one another. So come hang out with us.
And you will definitely enjoy it. Guys, always reach out to me at charles@myhelpmymississippi.com. Shoot me an email, charles@myhelpmymississippi.com. Mississippi spelled out. Or just go straight to the website, myhelpmymississippi.com. We're trying to make a difference in your life for the rest of your life. These diseases that we can avoid, doggone it, let's avoid them. Let's avoid them, okay? So thank you for joining My Help My Mississippi right here on WMPR 90.1. We don't take it for granted. This platform is helping hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. So we're thankful for WMPR 90.1. The number one show on the radio. We'll be back next Thursday morning at 7 a.m. We'll see you then. Can we have that theme music? The Fighters. That's it. Oh, that's it right there.
Yeah, I like it.
The future in great health. Today, every day, responsible self. We're the fighters will fight for our health.